Well, hello, Cloud Gurus. My name's Scott Pletcher, and I am here with Banjo Obiami.
Hey folks, I'm a senior developer advocate at AWS.
And this is day 2, 3?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. We are at reinvent, and it's Wednesday, and you can tell that because of my Vegas voice. I promise you, we are in Vegas. This is not a sound stage. This is not a green screen. So I am powering through to bring you the latest news.
Oh no, it's all wrong. All right, all better. Oh no.
First and foremost, the theme of today was more around data and machine learning and AI and so forth. One of the announcements that I thought was really interesting is DynamoDB infrequent access tables. And that's something similar to like S3 or EFS, infrequently accessed. Do you access it less? You pay less?
Yeah, they had a great example during the keynote how a social media app can utilize like a photo from 5 years ago. You're not going to access it every day, but when you do access that, you want that to come up quickly. So I'm really excited to see what customers can do with this new tier of database storage.
A curious announcement, SageMaker Ground Truth Plus.
It's better.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, just add a plus to it. So SageMaker Ground Truth is a service that customers can use to help clean and classify data before it's used for machine learning purposes, which is really important. Plus, I guess, signifies that some of that data may require special skills to quantify and classify. And this data will now be routed to people with those special skills. Is that right?
You need like subject matter experts, SMEs, to really dig deep into this data classification problem that a normal maybe person cannot classify. So it's great to have these experts help with that classification task.
Another interesting thing, SageMaker Serverless Inference. Now normally when you deploy inference infrastructure, you have to deploy it on what in essence is EC2 infrastructure, right? This holds the promise to be able to deploy that without us having to do anything.
Yeah, I love serverless thing because you don't have to worry about the servers. So I'll be interested to see how we can actually use Inference. We'll have to worry about spinning up an EC2 instance.
Yeah, one of the questions I do have is what's the warm-up time to calling these inferences?
That'll be interesting to once you get hands-on and play with it, yes.
Sure. Amazon Kendra Experience Builder. Now, of course, Amazon Kendra is a search engine that is designed to be deployed to enterprise organizations to help find documents. Tell me about what Experience Builder is.
Yeah, so with Experience Builder, you get an end-to-end kind of low-code, no-code workflow that you can just build your own actual private search databases dashboard without having to use custom code. So really excited to see what customers are going to build with this new experience.
So big question here, can we make chatbots less disappointing? That's a big question for me. And apparently Amazon's going to try because they have announced Amazon Lex Chatbot Builder. And the idea here is that it helps build chatbots and make them better.
Yeah, chatbots, it's always a hard learning curve to get through chatbots. So hopefully through this streamlined experience, you can kind of get the intents and see what invokes those different intents and make it much more easier to build chatbot experiences instead of having to go through the code all yourself.
So Banjo, is there anything that you found particularly fascinating or interesting?
Yeah, I'm really excited about SageMaker Studio Lab because you can spin up a Jupyter notebook without having to have an account, just an email address, and you have a SageMaker deployment ready to go, and you can play around, test some machine learning workloads, and you're ready. You can migrate that to SageMaker Studio. So really excited to onboard more customers and so they can experience machine learning and build cool things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the big kind of challenges or hurdles for machine learning right now is just the skills gap. And by the way, I know a company. Right before this filming, I had the opportunity to sit into a session, and this is why I love reinvent. I had intended to go to one session. I was a little bit late. It was completely filled up. So I just changed course and went to the session across the hall. And the session was absolutely amazing, especially if you're at that point in your organization where you're trying to figure out, okay, I have data, but how do I turn that data into value? I have this vision, how do I turn that into value? The session is called ENT 204, Data-Driven Enterprise, Going from Vision to Value. And I found a lot of value in that session. I think it's going to be repeated, maybe, but You can most definitely probably catch it online. I saw cameras there, so they were filming it. I would highly recommend that if you're in those early stages of trying to figure out how do we make sense of all that data, not only from just a technology standpoint, and as we know, technology is a tiny part of things, right? So they talk a lot about governance and some of the mechanisms that need to be put in place. Lastly, just wanted to give a shout out to the DeepRacer team. So DeepRacer finale was held today, and the 2021 DeepRacer championship team is JPMC-Rogue Hyderabad.
Woohoo!
So yeah, congratulations. The top 2 racers were actually from the same company, and they kind of helped each other, co-opetition type scenario there. But it was good to see kind of the healthy fun that they were having, and I'm sure they learned, much like I did when I went through the DeepRacer stuff. I learned a lot.
It was a pretty exciting race too, so check that out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some cliffhangers there. So Banjo, where can people find you as they're here at reinvent?
So I'm going to be at the developer lounge, so come by, say hi, grab some stickers, grab a coffee, just chill out, and we have to say hi to you.
Awesome, thank you. Well, so from reinvent, I'm Scott.
And I'm Banjo.
And we're going to bid you adieu for today's update. Stay tuned for tomorrow's update. Keep being awesome, Cloud Gurus.